Everyone keeps saying that Nano Banana is going to kill Photoshop, but what does that actually mean? Well, Nano Banana is the latest AI image generator model by Google, and people are saying that it's going to replace Photoshop. Literally, with just a few simple prompts, you can do exactly what you would already be able to do in Photoshop just by prompting Nano Banana. Now, although the name may sound a little bit silly, if this really is the game changer that people are saying it is, you ought to be paying attention. So in today's video, we're gonna get exactly into how to prompt it in the best possible way and see if it really lives up to its Photoshop killer hype. Jumping right into it, this is the first prompt I gave it. Combine these two logos into one unified logo. Now, these are just two simple logos that I came up with myself, and I just wanted to see what it actually looked like. And so far, it took it a little bit too literally. It took both of these logos that I've added and put them into one unified logo. It combines certain elements and certain aspects, but the C in the back kind of overlaps. Now we're gonna try and see exactly what this means to be a Photoshop killer, because this is just right off the bat not exactly the best logo. Now, if we simply say refine the logo, I wanna see what it actually does, because like AI image generation in ChatGPT, we want to see exactly what it does to simple prompts. Now, although it may have struggled at putting these two logos together, I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe this was a little bit too tricky for where Nano Banana is at right now. So we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to take the same logo here and add it to a picture of myself. We're going to add them together and we're going to simply prompt it in the best possible way. We're going to say, in the image of the man, replace the maple leaf in the photo with this logo, and we're going to simply hit enter. Now notice when I'm putting these prompts together, I'm not doing my typical prompt tactics, giving context, giving locations, all of those beautiful things, because ultimately right now I just want to see how it's going to perform. And this is a lot more of what I was expecting. It's taken the original photo of me and completely replaced the maple leaf in the original photo with the logo I provided it. Now, did it completely rebuild this from the ground up? I'm curious. If we look at my hair here or a few of the finer details, we can see here that it's pretty much identical. Honestly, to the naked eye, although the buildings do look a little bit blurry, no, that's how it was in the original photo. I honestly can't tell much of a difference. It seems like the only change it really made was doing exactly what I requested. So this is a point. But now I want to take it a step further. Let's ask it to recreate a photo of what it would look like if I was actually facing the camera directly. This is stepping it up a notch. Right now, we've done what AI can simply do in ChatGPT's AI image model, but now we're gonna see exactly what it does on the next level. Now, the prompt I'm giving it is once again simple. We're simply saying, create an image of what the photo would look like if the man was facing the camera. And while it's going ahead and creating that image here, I do want to talk a little bit about prompt tactics, because just like every other AI model, the better your prompt, the better the results are going to be. Now oh my, crazy. Wow, that is freaky. Now, if you notice in the bottom right hand corner, there's still the little Gemini icon, but wow, that's creepy. It's me, but it's not me. I'm wearing the same sunglasses. It's me from the front. My nose kind of looks the same, but the way my face is structured, and it's creepy. I almost want to compare it to the actual side-by-side photo, but I won't. And it seems, have they adjusted my arms at all? No, my arms are pretty much in the exact same place. The only adjustment that's been made is that I'm now facing the camera. Okay, this is insane. Now, I was originally for this next prompt going to use an actual image of the Golden Gate Bridge, but just what we've seen from here is enough to show us we don't even need to provide it an image of the Golden Gate Bridge. I want to see exactly how well it knows places and context and creating an image of what it knows that location already looks like. So we're going to step it up another level. We're going to say, replace the background of that image with a background of standing at the military outposts looking at the Golden Gate Bridge. Now, when it comes to pushing AI models to their limit, the things I like to do are the opposite of what you should normally do when you're trying to get the best results. I'm actually giving it horrible prompts because I'm trying to see how this specific AI model is going to interpret it. I could specifically say what battery I want to be overlooking. I could give it a location that it would be able to pull more context from and make my prompt a lot more detailed, but we're not doing that. What I'm doing with this prompt is simply seeing what it knows of military outposts overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge and seeing if it's able to take this context, being the weird front-facing, different face structured version of me, and actually be able to take that photo, take the new photo presumably, and get that. So let's see what that looks like right now. Okay, yep, it's the Photoshop killer, all right. So I want to make something clear when I look at this image. I want to remind you that today is the worst that this AI image model will ever be. So when people say that it's going to be the Photoshop killer, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but if this is any indication of where this technology is going, people saying it's going to be the Photoshop killer definitely makes a lot of sense sense to me. You can see that it's perfectly nailed exactly where it is. It's taken the image and put me in it here. It's not changed the reflection of my sunglasses. Actually, wait a minute. It's completely created a new reflection of my sunglasses on its own. Because if you look at this, the reflection of my sunglasses doesn't actually match up. So it's created that new reflection and then just literally copy and pasted that into the new frame. Absolutely wild. Now, when people say that this is going to be the Photoshop killer, I can start to see what they mean. Back in my first Photoshop class, we had to learn how to use the magnetic lasso tool, which is where you could cut the subject out of a photo and place them into another one, and then adjust the lighting as needed. But if you notice here, the sun is coming from the right side of the photo, which would be my left side. And there's a bunch of sun shining on my face. If you look at this photo here that I originally gave it, the sun is not shining on my face. That was only put in the second photo here, which was then carried over to the third photo. I honestly want to get rid of this image, but it's too freaky to actually change. The thing that impresses me the most about this is the fact that not only is it able to actually recreate photos with entirely different subjects. I mean, it's the same image, but obviously in this photo I'm facing the side, and in this photo I'm facing the front. But it's also able to take the subject out of the photo and add them to a different one. So we're gonna keep going and see just how far this can go. Let's test some of the more creative image model capabilities that we can just see here. So once again, we're gonna take it to the next level. We're gonna push this image model even further. Now, I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, Mountain Dew ran a massive marketing campaign where 4 of their different flavors were falling from a plane and you had to vote on which one to save. Well, that was actually taken with real footage and real video and all that. And that was a full real marketing campaign because there was no AI image model. But we're gonna see now what it actually does if I say, take the subject in the photo and create a new image of them skydiving while holding an energy drink with the logo on their pack, while crates of the same logo are visible. So at this point, we're just going off the rails here. We are testing the full capability of this image model. Is it able to follow instructions? Is it able to take assets from previous photos and interpret them in new ways? How is it gonna put it on the crate? How is it gonna put it on the energy drink? How is it going to take me as the subject of that photo and create a new image from it? These are all things that I'm really curious to see, and we're going to see right now. Okay, I gotta say, looking at this, it is freaky. So there's a few things that I can tell are definitely AI, mostly of course being the fact that these logos are, blurry on the boxes, and this one that appears to be further behind is blurry, but I'm center frame. Like, you could definitely think these are photoshopped in. But now we're gonna test a simple Photoshop hack. I want to adjust this photo so that I'm rotated 90 degrees, and I'm just gonna simply say, rotate the subject 90 degrees while touching nothing else. A simple Photoshop request for somebody who's great at Photoshop is, well, take the subject of that photo and rotate him 90 degrees. So we're gonna see if Nano Banana can do the same. Can we take this newly generated photo of what appears to be, like a clone of me from an alternate universe, and just simply rotate him 90 degrees? And what will that image look like? I'm gonna be really impressed if it can do this because, I mean, it's already gone ahead and using multiple assets that I've given it, mainly being my likeness and the logo that I created and this new photo apparently. Yep, no, it was able to do it. It was able to rotate me exactly 90 degrees, and it seems it's pretty much the same with the hand and the logo. It's definitely changed the angle a little bit. It's not like a perfect 90-degree turn, like it's still regenerated, you can tell, but still, the crates are the same, make it nighttime. We're just gonna run with it. Now already I'm convinced that this is the Photoshop killer, but I'm just gonna keep pushing it to its limit. I'm gonna say, make it nighttime. I'm just gonna keep changing variables, things that you would normally do in Photoshop in this Nano Banana AI image model, and seeing what it produces. I'm gonna change the way the subject looks. I'm gonna change the background of the subject. I'm just gonna keep changing everything. And as we can see here, I assume that's supposed to be the moon with how bright it is. It's made everything darker. The logos are glowing. You can see the lights in the background. The clouds are much more visible now. Oh, there weren't even clouds in these previous photos. They're just visible now in this one. Make it so the character's in space. Let's keep going. It's also worth noting at this stage that this is on the free plan. I'm not paying anything for the amount of images that I'm generating or how accurate the images are. This is completely free. I'm not paying a dime to get this high quality level of image generated. So if we think about it for a second, if we were able to take these images that were hyper realistically generated in Nano Banana and put them into VO3, we would effectively get a way to create any sort of hyper realistic image and then make it a video with pretty much 1-to-1 accuracy. And as we can see here, pretty much nothing I throw at it is going to phase it. Now it's the Milky Way, and I believe that's the Earth in the background there, and we're floating over the Earth. It doesn't have to be realistic, but what if we said, make it realistic? Let's just keep running with it. Now, if we look at this photo here, where Uncanny Valley version of me is looking at the camera, to this version here, where Uncanny Valley me is at the Golden Gate Bridge, to me skydiving with this new energy drink I've created, to me skydiving in a different direction, to me skydiving at night, to me skydiving in space, to me skydiving realistically, which seems to have just added a parachute and adjusted the lighting. That's hilarious. I think the main thing that we can notice here is that yes, when it comes to all of these images that were just created, I think looking at all of these images here, we can certainly say that there is a good amount of Photoshop work whose job gets erased by having this AI model exist at all. Because when I look at the Photoshop requests subreddit, where people are typically posting their photos of, say, weddings or family portraits, and they say, hey, I want you to remove this certain person from the photo, or hey, I got a photo with these people, but I didn't get a photo with these people, and I want you to make a photo of all of us together. And all these very specific requests for Photoshop requests, and people will do it. And, they get tipped $20. This AI image model effectively erases that. In fact, it would be a great business idea to start so that somebody actually paid to get a specific request. You could literally create an AI wrapper of this for wedding photos specifically. Didn't get wedding photos with the specific group of people you wanted? Well, just take all those photos, put it into the AI model, and with your simple prompt, you could have a full new picture. And based on what I've seen here today, those are exactly the type of capabilities that Nano Banana is capable of. I was a bit skeptical at first when I first started this video, but now that we're at the end of it, I want to show you exactly what it is, as promised, you can do to get the best possible results from it, even though just the simple results we're getting from these prompts are already amazing. So for our final test, we're just going to try putting all of these together with a very simple prompt. I want the subject in the third photo on the beach with the Golden Gate Bridge in the background with the C logo on his shirt and a Jeep with the S logo on it, and see if we can look at these images and understand, first of all, what that all means, and second of all, actually go ahead and generate that image for us. At this point, I'm convinced that Nano Banana is on its way to replacing Photoshop, being that unless you have beginner or intermediate Photoshop skills to actually do this in Photoshop, most people are simply going to be able to prompt their way to getting the same results with little to no Photoshop skills whatsoever. But on top of that, when it comes to the actual image generation, creating new images based on certain images that already exist, based on prompts, based on new context, Nano Banana has shown in this video that it is capable of doing amazing things. And as proof of everything it can actually do, we've got this image of me on the beach with this logo here, with the Golden Gate Bridge in the background, and a Jeep in the background, and the S. Absolutely spectacular. So with that being said, I can't wait to see what you generate in Nano Banana. And you can try it for free on Google Gemini right now. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, my name is Josh Mountain, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.